Thanks, David. Up next, we have Norma. Norma, what's your question for David Wolfe?
Hi, David.
Hi.
This lecture is going to be life-changing for me.
Yay.
My question is, which supplement, or how do I get the, oh my God, the colloidal silver?
Or coated silver?
Silver. And the charcoal in capsules, or what is the best way to get it?
Okay, so you know what? You reminded me, I didn't answer the other gal's question and her question about diatomaceous earth. I recommend diatomaceous earth only for short periods of time, 2 weeks at a time, by the way, for that gal. That was a great question because it is good against parasites, but it's also it's an irritant on the intestines of a human being, and human beings' intestines are much more sensitive than animals. If you have livestock, feed them, if you got goats and stuff like that, you can feed them diatomaceous earth all the time. Their digestion tougher, but human being, you got to be careful. Okay, so with coated silver, it was invented by a friend of mine, Dan Goya, who's up at Clarkson University up in upstate New York. He's in the electronics industry. He is so far in that. I mean, almost every electronics that you're using right now contains his technology in it. He's got his technology in 40% of the electronics on Earth. That's how deep he is in that world. And coated silvers have been used in industry for years. He invented it, actually. And he eventually realized, like, wait a second, he could take like a polysaccharide gel, like an aloe vera gel, and impregnate it with silver ions, and it doesn't clump together. It does not clump together. So you're like, wait, what do you mean clump together? So the big problem with coated or colloidal silver is clumping. The molecules aggregate together, and when you drink that or use it in your mouth or put it on your skin, it clumps real quick, and that's it. Your body, your microbiome goes, whoa, what's going on there, and reacts to it. So it's not really friendly to the microbiome, not like coated silver, because coated silver is in layers and layers and layers and layers and layers. So your body digests each layer of polysaccharide slowly, so it slowly works its way into your system. That's also why with a normal colloidal silver, you go into a store, it's 15 parts per million or 10 parts per million. And like, there's almost nothing there. With a coated silver, it's 20,000 parts per million because it doesn't clump together. So you can super saturate it into a gel, in this case, aloe vera gel. Now we have it. Let me see if I can get you a bottle. Can anybody hear me? We have a coated silver you can bring me? Okay, I'm going to get you guys a coated silver bottle. An open one would be great because I want to show them how concentrated it is. And then a coal biter. With charcoal, you got to go with what works for you. I don't, like if I'm going to make a charcoal product, which I have, which is my coal biter product, I'm only going to use, and this one's open?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let me show you. This is the coated silver. You could see, look at this. Look how, let me see. Yeah, if you could. Watch how dark it is. See that? One drop is more colloidal silver than an entire bottle you're going to buy in a store. So there's actually, in this bottle, there's over 150 something drops in this bottle. The normal bottles that I sell are 83, because this would be like, this is like a $300 bottle. So we just do the one at $137, but that should last you 6 months or a year at least. I mean, I've had bottles last me a year, just a tiny little bottle like that. Okay, so you want me to show? Watch this. Okay, I'm going to show you guys a little. Watch this. This is what I do. So with water, I'm going to put just one drop, and that's what I do with my water every day, and I'll drink that. Is this good drinking water? Yeah. Okay, so I'll drink it. And I do one drop a day, but some days I've been doing 2, and some days I've been doing 3. Can you get me a coal biter?
Yes.
And this is coated silver brand, actually. So we work directly with Dan Goya on the coated silver brand, FYI. And that's what I have on my website. Now I'm going to show you guys the coal biter. I do something different because I've been at this a long time. I've been in this world for 27 years. So thank you. That's my lovely assistant here. Okay, this is what we do with our charcoal. This is encapsulated in poulan. So this is encapsulated in fermented yucca or fermented tapioca, which to my mind is the best vegetarian capsule in the world. V-caps, okay, I'll take a product that's in a V-cap. It's not my ideal thing, but if I'm going to make the product, it's going to be in the best cap in the world. Now, I'm going to tell you this about activated charcoal. You think people always are complaining to me like, your charcoal sold out again. What's the deal? It's because we have quality control, and we will reject any product that doesn't meet our quality control. And I guarantee you that other companies will, they don't care. I had a doctor, he was really angry at me, Dr. Mark down there in Los Angeles. He was really angry at me because it's a 400 milligram capsule, and it was only filled up like 3/4. And he's like, what's the extra space? You're ripping us off. I was like, first of all, on the label, if you look, we're telling you you're getting 250 milligrams. We're really putting 280 milligrams in there. So it's actually, the label's correct. But he's like, how come there's extra space in there? I'm like, dude, everybody else is using flow agents, maltodextrin, magnesium stearate, citric acid, to flow the charcoal and every other supplement into the capsule. I'm not going to do that. I'll never do that. I don't care how tough it is. I'm not out here to make $1 million on charcoal. Charcoal isn't a big money making product anyway, but I am out here to make the best charcoal product in the world that's encapsulated. Now you may go, I don't even want the encapsulated product. No problem. You can get activated charcoal on the internet, and you can buy it bulk as a powder, and that's a great way to use it. I would recommend, what I do when I have it bulk is I have it in a glass container with a glass lid, so it's easy to open the lid. I don't have to unscrew it or do that because the charcoal will get into the grooves. Charcoal gets everywhere. So I have a lid that just comes off. It's really easy to remove it, and I can put a spoon in there and use it that way. If you use another system than that, it can get troubling. I'm just going to warn you because I've been through all of that kind of stuff. So if you're going to do an encapsulated product, there's nobody has a better quality product than what I have with my coal biter. And again, we don't use any single little additive, nothing, zero. It's just activated charcoal, zilcho. Everybody else, magnesium stearate, citric acid, maltodextrin, and actually I had to put a list. Where's my list? This is crazy. No accelerants, not irradiated, no glycerin. That's another one that they put in there. What else? And there's more, but I digress. So that's when it comes to my own products, I do that kind of quality control just because it's fun for me, and I'm not trying to mass manufacture a million things. You know what I mean? I don't have enough. I've been at this long enough. This is not like about making $1 million with charcoal.
Thanks, David. And up next, we have another David. David A. What's your question for David Wolfe?
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, David.
Have you ever heard of the Healy microcurrent frequency machine? And if so, what do you think of it? And where can we get the Zapper you mentioned when you had a discussion with Dr. Cousins the other day? Great.
I have a Healy, and a Healy can act as a Zapper. The only problem with my Healy is that I just haven't used it enough to really, I've got only so many hours in a day, and it's a learning curve. Really good device, very powerful, and it's kind of a portable, what we call portable frequency generator, or portable Rife machine. I know there's a lot of terms that could fit into Rife machine or frequency generator, but that's really what Healy is. And Healy can act as a Zapper. So what my recommendation is put that Healy on, 15 hertz, positive offset square wave, and then you're getting a Zapper. That's basically what a Zapper is. And that's just very simple, and that works. Now, if you wanted to just get a specific type of Zapper off the internet, my friend Don Croft used to make great ones. His wife still sells them. Unfortunately, Don Croft died in a paragliding accident. Really unfortunate, a few years ago. And but his wife still puts them out there, and they're called Terminators, like the Terminator, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Governator. And the Terminator 2 is a good one, relatively inexpensive, $100 maybe on the internet, something like that. And it's a fun one to use. So, and it's got two little electrodes. And those two electrodes have got, oh, you have one here. Look at this. My Lord. Look at this. Okay, this is what it looks like. And how do we have one of these? Oh, you had one. Okay. Okay, cool. So anyway, this is what it looks like. And you're going to put, this one doesn't have a battery in it right now. So you're going to pop this off, and you're going to put the 9-volt battery right there. And you're just going to have this tucked into your pants or something. And it's going to run that current, and it'll beep up the top up there. And that's how you know it's on. Crazy effective, as silly as this is. See, this is the thing about scientism. Scientism has convinced us that everything's much more complex, and we need super complex, and we need Dr. Fauci to tell us everything because everything's super complex and no one else understands anything. And it's just that's all a marketing gimmick. I got to tell you, really in nature, everything's really simple. It's just the simplest frequencies. What's this doing? All it's doing is this switcher in here. It's a 1980 technology. You pop this thing open again. I don't have a bunch of nails, so give me a second. Geez, I really popped that thing on there. Okay, here we go. Oh. This little switcher right there at the top, you used to buy at Radio Shack. It's called a 555 switcher, 1980 technology. All it's doing is it's putting out a 15 hertz positive offset square wave. What's that mean? It means it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off, 15 times per second. So in 1 second, if we divided it up into 30, it would be on, right? And then off, and then on, and then off. So it's equally broken up into 30. And that means that half the time it's off and half the time it's on in that second. Off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on. You see what I'm saying? And when a square wave means it's totally on and then it's totally off. It's not a sine wave. A sine wave would be like, that's like this electricity that's in this house and every house. That type of electricity, sine wave or cosine, is actually corrosive. But pulsed electromagnetic energy, meaning totally on, totally off, totally on, totally off, is actually good for you. This is such a great subject. Oh my God, that's a really important thing to know. And I could go on about that for hours. I just love that subject. But it's something where, and let me just give you one last thing and we'll get to the next question is, let's say somebody has an infection on their arm or something, just put the Zapper next to it and watch what happens to that infection. If you don't believe this stuff works, watch what happens to an infection. Like somebody has an infected cut, put the Zapper right next to it for 30 minutes and then watch what happens to that infection. You go like, oh, whoa, what? It's one of those. And see, our whole system is designed for selling us drugs and injections where things like this little Zapper thing, where'd I put that? This little thing, like, oh, that can't work. That Dr. Fauci didn't say it before. It can't be good. See, that eventually you'll find out the truth. But the only way you really can is you have to experiment. And that's why I love experimentation.
Thank you so much, David. Up next, we have Yaron. Yaron, go ahead with your question for David Wolfe.
Hi, David. While you answered the previous person, I tried to find this Terminator online and I have some difficulties. Can you please spell the name of the company again?
You can find it at worldwithoutparasites.com. And that tells you something about Zappers. Zappers are known to be antagonistic to parasites. So worldwithoutparasites.com. And it's Terminator 2, just like the movie, like Terminator 1 and Terminator 2. That's how you would type it in. And then the inventor of that model, this model here that I was just showing you, is unfortunately, passed away, but great guy, Don Croft, and D-O-N, and then the last name is C-R-O-F-T. And you should be able to track them down. And they have other sites than just World Without Parasites, so you should be able to track it down. And then somebody wrote a thing about Hulda Clark. I just saw that pop up. One thing I would say about Hulda Clark, see what Don Croft did is he did something really smart, is he brought the frequency range down to 15 hertz, which means 15 times per second, which is more in the natural range of a human being. Most of the emanations of electricity and energy that are coming off a human being are between 0 and 36 hertz. What Hulda Clark was doing was something like, I can't even remember anymore. It was like 42,000 hertz or 35,000 hertz or something way high. Now, she was still doing square waves, so it was still relatively effective, but it was way too high a frequency. Like, bring it down into the natural range of a human being, and it's going to work better. And that's what Don and I have been really promoting for many years now. And you'll find out it works better.